What's popping? Good morning, nation. What's good with everybody, man? I know it's Tuesday morning. And usually we go live in Monday mornings. But your boy Ray was out in Vegas. Your boy Ray was out in Vegas. Let's just get it straight. I had to recover, man. I had to recover. Your boy SVT had me messed up. Y'all know I don't be drinking, but I was out there sipping on a little something, and I had to recover, man. I had to recover, man. I'm telling you. You understand me? So shout out to everybody that's in the building. You know, usually we go live Monday mornings, but I know it's Tuesday. Victory Tuesday. Let's call it what it is. Victory Tuesday, man. Make sure to hit that like button so we can get this thing cracking off. Shout out to everybody that's already in the building. Raider Roach is in the building. What's good with you, man? Rich Snyder out here dropping bombs on us. I see you, man. I see you, Rich. We'll get to it real soon, brother. Raider Wolf in the building. Just tag Jacobs. That's what it's looking like, Wolf. That's really what it's looking like. All right, so we're gonna get into that here shortly, man. Today I got some coffee with me. Can I get a thumbs up though? Make sure I get a thumbs up in there. Make sure everything is solid. You understand me? Right? Yo, Wasted. What's good with you, man? Right, Wasted. If you free, pull up. If you free, pull up. Mine as well. Man. Might as well pull up, right? Shout out to Wasted. You feel me? Wasted in the building. Love to see it. Let us see it, man. Let us see everybody up in here. Kenny, yeah. Baker, I don't know about that. We'll get into it here in a second. Dominique 5 in the building. What's up with it, 5? Appreciate you pulling up on us, bro. You know what time it is. Rich, you going crazy, Snyder? I see you, brother. Pulling up some barbecue chicken. Shout out to Scully Pictures, man. Casey in the building, sup, right? I bet you had a blast at the game. Barbecue chicken. Bro, it was a blast. Shout out to our guy SVT for coming up with the idea of going out there and just a last-minute little trip. Definitely was a fun event. Linking up a Raider Cody, Samoan Raider, a lot of content creators, a lot of super fans out there. So it was a blast, bro. Tickler said, Raid, how was the home field advantage? Or how was the home field at Allegiant? On TV, it seemed about 50-50. Nah, it was not 50-50, bro. Definitely wasn't 50-50. I'll tell you that right now, Tickler. There was a lot of Raider fans. I feel like that blue, like my guy SVT was saying, that blue kind of just sticks out because it was so bright compared to the black. But nah, bro, there was hella Raider fans. There was a good bit of Chargers, but nah, definitely wasn't no 50-50. So in the building, what's good with you, man? I see you, folks. Appreciate you pulling up on us. SVT, my bro. Yeah, bro. I'm out here still trying to figure it out, man. I'm still out here recovering now because I've been on the grind, bro. The moment I got back, SVT, you know what I mean? You know, I had to get back to it. Orders, content, you know, the house stuff, all that kind of thing, man. So you know what it is. SVT. Shout out to you, man. Had a blast with you out there. Next time, we got to get some more people with us. GM, shout out to you, Robert Penna. Glad you're able to pull up on us. Good morning to everybody in the live right now. Good morning to everybody in the chat right now, man, because we feeling good. We feeling great. And it's one of those mornings to where it's one of those mornings, man, to where we're coming off of a victory. And it's a convincing victory. Finally, our first convincing victory of the season, in my opinion. And what I mean by that is that we really put the foot on the gas pedal and had a comfortable lead. 27-13, in my opinion, is a comfortable lead. And I know some people were saying, well, you know, they scored 20 and at the last minute of the game, they had a chance. But at the same time, it didn't really get to that point to where we were sitting there saying, oh, man, you're not going to be able to get through to this one. That didn't be the case because the defense really stepped up, man. Honcho 562, he says the Derek Carr hitter is live. Call it what you want, man. Shout out to Hangry 2 Sleazy. He says eating barbecue chicken hit different in the morning, bro. You got to be a savage to wake up starting to eat barbecue chicken first thing in the morning for breakfast, man. If you're doing that, do what you do, bro. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate you dropping the super chat as well. Sleazy in the building, man. Grizzly in the building as well. Central Cali Bear, what's good, man? Devontae Adams is Hemi Neutron. Devontae Adams is a dog. You got Devontae and Josh Jacobs on the same damn field. No excuses for this offense. No excuses for this offense whatsoever, bro. Let me tell you right now. And we're going out there going ham with those two guys. What up, Raid? Rep that redemption. Yes, sir. You know what it is, rocking steady. You know what it is, baby. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Carr's a top 12 quarterback. Stop the slander. Yeah, he's a top 12 quarterback. I mean, I wouldn't argue that. Definitely wouldn't argue that. Appreciate everybody putting a thumbs up, making sure the technicals is all good in the building. Mario says, I'll be at the Rams game Thursday. Let's get it, man. We got to go out there and win that Rams game easily. Easily. Matthew Stafford out. Aaron Donald potentially out. Cooper Kupp tearing up my damn fantasy team. Cooper Kupp, damn it. Needed to step that shit up. Out there playing the Rams. I don't know. They don't ruin my damn fantasy team in one of my leagues, man. But make sure y'all hit that like button, yo. We finna get jumping into this. The nation. What's up, Ray? Team really looks like they're getting it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Especially that defense, bro. Especially that damn defense. Let me tell you right now. Raider Andy, what's good, big dog? Shout out to Andy pulling up on us. Hey, Ray, for real, though. You think there's a chance we make the playoffs? I mean, there's a chance. Statistically, mathematically, however you want to do it, yes, there is a chance. There's definitely a chance. I mean, my prediction was 9-8 wild card. And honestly, when we were sitting at only 2 wins and had a lot of losses, I thought that was out the window. I thought playoffs was way out the window. Not a single chance, man. But looking at it right now, you see the Chargers are sitting at 1 game ahead of us, and we just whooped their ass. You look at the rest of the AFC, they're going to start taking us some losses because they're going to have to start playing their division rivals. They're going to start going into the games to where teams are starting to get on the roll like us. We're going on a roll, and usually this is where you want to get on a roll is late in the season. Late November, in December, you get on that roll. And you think about last year, we had a 5 to 6 game winning streak. We had that 5 to 6 game winning streak, and we made the playoffs. Now, is this going to be an identical season? Is this going to be something that we do again? I don't know if that'll be the case because we still have KC. And if it comes down to beating KC for the last game of the season, like we had to beat the Chargers last year, and we do it, ooh. I got to tell you something. You want to be at that game. You don't want to miss that game. Because if it comes down to us having to beat the Chiefs, and make the playoffs, bro, that's just going to be a crazy game. Let me tell you, man. Snyder says, I need that hoodie, though, Ray. It's getting cold. Hey, shout out to you, man. I just got a message saying that they should be in within these next couple weeks, bro. They should be in here soon, man. Definitely before December ends, they should be in here, man. Todd Davis, yo, what's good with you, man? What's up, Ray? Good morning, early afternoon. Yeah, you already know what it is, man. If you're on the East Coast, you're probably around 12 o'clock right now. But, you know, we out here in Sacramento, City of Trees, holding it down out here. But give me 1 minute. I'm going to send this link out to our peoples real quick, man. Our guy said he has a potential opportunity to pull up. And it would only be right. It would only be right. Let me see. Where's he at? Let's see. Let me see. Did that shit send? I don't know if that's sent. Anyway, let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. Eddie Ramos in the building. Since Averett went on IR, Tillery joined us, and our defense been different. You know, Averett had to go. This is a good point of emphasis right here, man. Shout out to Tillery, bro. Shout out to Tillery, because this dude Tillery has been playing actually pretty decent, man. To my surprise, Jerry Tillery has been playing pretty decent. Now, was I expecting him to come in and change the whole entire defensive line? Hell no. Hell no. I'll be the first one to tell you, I'm not that type of guy. You know what I mean? How many times have we gone and picked up some guy off the waiver wire, picked up some guy that was slacking on another team, and then comes to the Raiders and does good? Usually it's the other way around. Usually someone will leave the Raiders and then they'll go on another team and do good. So the fact that we're able to get a guy in Jerry Tillery that's able to come in, show some production, not like he's getting a lot of crazy sack numbers or anything like that, but creating some pressure, creating some push in the middle of the defensive line. That shit was fun to watch, man. That was definitely fun to watch, bro. So that's a very good point. And Averett needs to stay on IR or stay on another team, because I'm not a big fan of Averett. Never was. A tiny, small corner. It's not worth it, man. I'd rather have Sam Webb, a young rookie out there, able to get some burn. Right. How was the energy on the side? Bro, the energy was crazy in the building. Energy was crazy, Juan. You know, seeing Josh McDaniels out there being able to orchestrate the offense. I mean, I feel like this was one of his best games calling some plays. I feel like this was Josh McDaniels, one of his best games calling plays. Definitely was the best performance by the defense as well. Patrick Graham drew up some crazy plays that were beautiful, running a lot of man. And then late in the game, he would line up in man, and then they would drop into zone. So I love seeing that multiple zone or that multiple scheme defense. Mirig was all over the place. I love to see that. He's giving Mirig a chance to develop in one of those safeties that's very multiple. He can play single high. He can come down, play in the box. He can go play man coverage on the slot receiver or on the tight end. And we've seen it throughout the entire year. And yes, his number has been called on a couple of bad plays as far as Mirig. But at the same time, this dude's in the second year of a new scheme that's telling him to do literally everything that everyone does on the field. The only thing Merrick has not done yet is really blitz a lot. He hasn't really blitzed a whole lot. Now, I wouldn't really want him to because obviously he's the more of the better coverage safety that we have. And it does make sense to have them out there in that multiple coverage scheme. So I think Merrick's going to be a good piece, man. I know a lot of people have been down on him this year, but I think Merrick's going to develop into a very, very good safety here soon, man. Chiefs may just rest their starters against us that last game. You know, me and SVT was talking about this, man. I don't think that would be the case, bro. I don't think that would be the case. Like, if we went up against the Chiefs in that last game and they knew, okay, if the Raiders beat us, now think about this. If the Chiefs knew if we beat them, we make the playoffs, do you think they would allow that opportunity? That's all I'm saying. Do you think they would allow that opportunity to say, okay, if we let the Raiders win, they make the playoffs? I feel like they would still go out there and want to beat us. Because imagine us going to play them in the playoffs, and then they end up taking that L, right? Depending on how the playoffs fall, and especially where we land, because we would be potentially where that wild card spot would be, and we would end up probably playing them. But they have the best record in the AFC right now, correct? In the AFC. So they could potentially get that bye, but just have to see how everything pans out, man. Tillery's at 808 says Tillery's a great addition. Most definitely. Make sure y'all rate that like button, y'all. Rate that like button. Y'all know what time it is, man. Yeah, right. Chiefs will want to win that game. Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think the Chiefs would ever let up on us, man. I don't think the Chiefs would ever let up on us. Raider Nation, hit that like button for Big Ray. Appreciate you, Kenny, for pulling up on us, man. Kenny in the building. Yes, sir. Palo Mayoa blitzing that gap is a dog. Let me tell y'all right now, that dude's a dog because you notice every time this guy goes in on a blitz, he's creating some type of pressure or he's getting straight to the quarterback. What did he have? A sack this last game? And the last time we seen him blitz was it against the Seahawks? He got back there. This dude is all over the field. Another guy we got to talk about, simple, Chandler Jones, y'all. Chandler Jones finally shows up. And the simple fact that last week it was Max Crosby against the Seahawks. This time it's Chandler Jones against the damn Chargers. You know, SVT had brought up a great point before the game. He said, look, the Chargers are depleted at offensive line. Their offensive line is depleted. I believe they were on their third string left tackle. And at that point, it was kind of like Chandler Jones has to do something. He has to step up if you're going up against a guy that's so inexperienced playing at left tackle. And, I mean, it showed. It showed on the film. It showed in the game. You don't even have to watch the film to realize that. But Chandler Jones did show up, so we have to give him his credit regardless of who was out there on the field. So hopefully he could keep that up and we can get the ball rolling into the right direction when it comes to this defensive line, man, because it's been looking great. Tickler said, y'all tripping, man. You want to pay Carr like he's Messi or Ronaldo or something? He's taking a huge hit on the salary cap. It's like 19 mil this year. Jacobs is only like 3 mil. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one, bro. It's going to be a tough one. Y'all know how I feel about Derek Carr right now. You know, I put it down in my last video that I would like to see Derek Carr elevate some more. It's that simple. You got Josh Jacobs playing on an elite level. You got Devontae Adams playing on an elite level. I mean, the damn offensive line has been playing better than average and didn't even allow a sack this last game. Yet we got 3 interceptions in the last 2 games. You got 3 interceptions and 1 touchdown for a return. If we can clean that up, this team would go farther, right? Because you think about this Chargers game. Yes, it ended up 27-20, but if you think about it, the Raiders defense only allowed 13 points. Yes, the Raiders defense only allowed 13 points from the Chargers, guys. That's it. They got another 7 points because they got a pick 6. So when you really look at it, without that pick 6, it was a 27-13 game. And then you want to talk about the fact that, you know, we could have got a touchdown on a 3rd and 1 in the red zone, but Derek Carr misses that pass. It would have been 34-13 without those 2 miscues, right? So everybody is playing at a high level. The defense is out there tearing their ass up. Devontae Adams tearing their ass up, 177 yards, 2 touchdowns. Josh Jacobs, nearly 150 yards on the touchdown again. Yet, we don't blow them out when we should have. It should have been 37-30 or 37-13 in my opinion. And what's crazy is I got this shit on video, right? And I wasn't going to post it, and I'm still not going to post it, but I'm going to show y'all here on live. And I don't know if y'all going to be able to see this very clear, but this is that 31 play, man. This is that 31 play. And you can see, like, I had it on 4K, bro. I caught this man at 4K being ass. You understand me? Look at Hollins wide open. Hollins wide the hell open, bro. You feel me? And I was just upset because he fucked up my highlight, fucking Carr. You can see Hollins wide open, and he still misses it to Devontae Adams. That's not my damn highlight. But at the end of the day, we won. So let's not go down that road, all right? Shout out to Michael from Germany pulling up on us. Since when Harmon is wearing the green dot, in relation to the defense improvement, you know, that's a good point, man. Green dot on Harmon, I'm going to have to look back exactly when he started wearing that green dot because I haven't really noticed the fact that he's been the one out there with it, honestly. I'll be 100% honest with you. So I have to go back and look at that. That's a very good point by Micah right there. And we're going to have to tally that one up to Micah for bringing that Jedi Master question in right there. Micah, if you know exactly when Harmon started wearing the green dot, let me know down in the comments, brother. Shout out to Scully Pictures, bro, with the super. Says, we need to pay JJ. But if I was him, I would be shaking my teeth. Pause. LOL at the Raiders as they watch other teams make offers. This is what I'm concerned about, Scully. It's a simple fact that you go out and sign Waller, Renfro, Carr, Devontae Adams. You're giving all these extensions out. And the one guy that's having a historic running season, you didn't give him a contract. And at that point, you can only respect his decision to go out there and test free agency, which I've heard that he wants to do. I heard Josh Jacobs wants to test free agency, but he wants to be a Raider again. He got that shit tatted on him, right? He got that Raider logo tatted on him. So you think about the simple fact that $12.5 million is probably what the franchise tag will be for him going into next year. And right now, we're not even paying him anything close to that. If we would have just picked up his option, it would have been around $8 million. So we would have saved close to $4 to $5 million if we would have just done that. Now, another on the flip side is, could Josh Jacobs go to a team like the Bills? He could. He could go to a team like the Bills. I could see him going there. I mean, the Bills would be dominant if they had a Jacobs on their team. You know, I would hate to say this, but the Chiefs need a running back. I don't see them getting Jacobs at all, but the Chiefs need a running. The Broncos need a running back as well. So there's a lot of teams, especially close to us in our division, that need running backs, and they would probably throw the freaking bag at him compared to what we're willing to do. But you got to tag him. You have to tag Jacobs. If you don't, you're just I don't see this regime not tagging Jacobs or bringing him back. The whole fan base would be on their head. Daniel says, wouldn't it be amazing to beat the Chiefs to get in the playoffs and make them play on the road on a wild card weekend? Sheesh. That's exactly what I'm talking about, D. That's what I'm talking about. Last year was the Chargers. This year is going to be the Chiefs, y'all. This year we got to go out there and beat the Chiefs and do it in a reasonable fashion. Man. Mike Morris in the building. What's good with you, folks? He says a little late to the party. What's up, brother? That was a complete game. Defense can be good if they keep improving like this. Completely agree with the defense part, but I don't think this was a complete game, man. I got to tell you right now, Mike, I don't think this was a complete game because, like I just got done saying, I think Carr could play better. I think Carr could have a cleaner, better game. If he can have a game to where he's not throwing interceptions, a pick six, I think we could have a lot better game. Our full potential hasn't even been untapped yet. We see our defense play good. We see our receivers playing good. We see our running back, O-line play good. We need to see Carr take that step to where he's having those games, to where he's having those elite games and say, okay, he's definitively a top 10 receiver instead of having to say, quarterback, instead of saying a top 12. I just want to see him come out and just have a clean, solid game. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. That would be a crazy game. That would be a good game for Carr to have, to be like, okay, now he's starting to show, right? And just previously against the Seahawks, it was 2 years since the last time he threw 3 touchdowns. Then he goes against the Seahawks. He throws 3 touchdowns, but with 2 interceptions. I would love to see a cleaner game from him. That's it. That's all I would like to see. Carr top 10 and everything. I mean, I'm not gonna go down that path. I'm not going on that debate right now, but I hear you. Fuck is it? Then he says, I hear that, Raid. Raid, you're the first person I heard say that our O-line wasn't bad, and I had my doubts, but they stepped up big time the last few weeks. Look, the O-line had some struggles. Let's keep it real, man. You had your reasonable doubt, nation. Let's be honest. Everybody in the nation had their reasonable doubts about the offensive line. The only thing I would say to that is the simple fact that they were rotating a lot of people and a lot of rookies on that O-line. You talk about Tom Cable. Tom Cable was a shitty offensive line coach. He was a terrible offensive line coach. Let's keep it real. This dude was out there with the O-line he drafted and was still doing bad. How do you do that? How is every single player you drafted on your offensive line? You chose, handpicked these people. You got 2 first-round picks on the O-line, and he still sucked? Tom Cable was trash, bro. So finally, we bring in some competent offensive line coaches, some leadership on the offensive line, finding guys that fits their scheme, and lo and behold, you got a decent offensive line, an above-average offensive line, and at worst, they're average. At worst, this offensive line is average. There's no way you can say this O-line is bad and Jacobs is having his best year of his freaking career. You got to put some logic there, because they'll say, Jacobs hasn't been doing good because the O-line has been trash these last couple of years. He's been getting hurt because he's getting hit behind the line. But when you talk about this year, he's going off. So you have to give credit to the guys up front. Same thing when it comes to the pass game. Carr gets a lot of freaking time back there, man. Let's be honest. Carr gets a lot of time when you watch it. So this O-line has stepped up. So we got to give that O-line some praise, man. And in the beginning, we did have our reasonable doubts, though. Let's be honest. Kenny said, Ray, did Mac make a tackle? I don't even know, bro. But one thing I do know is the simple fact that I didn't even realize the Chargers had Khalil Mack on their team. I completely forgot Khalil Mack was in the game, bro, because the O-line was doing their damn thing. I completely forgot. Derwin James. I seen Derwin James out there a couple times, but I completely forgot about Khalil Mack. He was even on the damn team. Let's be real. Carr is the only one left that needs to step up, protect the ball. I agree. And I'm not sitting here saying that Carr is a bad quarterback. And I think that's what people are going to take. Blah, 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 blah. They're going to come in there. Blah, blah, blah. No, shut your ass up. With your crybaby ass. Always want to pull the knee pads out for Derek Carr. All I'm saying is the last piece of the team that needs to step up is Derek Carr. You can't say nothing about Jacobs. You can't say nothing about Adams, because I just literally put it out there for you. In this game, the one mistake that we really made was a pick 6. Outside of that, it would have been 27-13 game. Defense gave up 13 points. Come on, put it in perspective. That's it. So I hear you, man. He's the last one that got to step up, but he's still a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong. He's still a good quarterback, still better than average, but he's going to be the last piece that needs to step up. That's all I'm saying. That last Miss TD to Tay was just a good play. No, bro. Mike, I'm telling you right now, Mac Hollins was wide open, dog. Let me see if I can show y'all real quick. I got this shit. I got Derek Carr in 4K being ass. I'm not lying. And I'm gonna show y'all. Like, Mac Hollins is wide open and Derek Carr doesn't even look at him. I don't know what Derek Carr is looking at. Both receivers are open, y'all. Both wide receivers are open. Look at Mac Hollins right here. What are you fucking staring at? Throw the fucking football for a damn touchdown. Both receivers are open. How do you miss this? They're open. Throw the fucking football. Like, bro, throw the football. They're both open. Literally, you're just standing there staring. Why aren't you pulling the trigger? They're not, you feel me? You feel me? Like, why aren't you pulling the trigger? Throw the football. You know the play. Throw the football. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like, come on, dog. Two dudes open in the end zone. And you wonder why red zone offense is ass. Throw the fucking football. Bro, y'all should have seen. I was at the game. And the fact that I got it on, the fact that I recorded it, I barely recorded any of the game. But we was right there. It was 3rd and 1. We're in the end zone. Perfect angle. I'm like, bro, this is a touchdown. We gonna score right here, bro. So I pull the phone out. I'm recording and I'm watching the game too at the same time. This motherfucker, bro, gonna miss the goddamn throw. When you had 2 receivers open, I was pissed off, bro. That would have been a dope ass video too. The crowd would have went crazy. Everybody on the field would have been crazy. Yeah, that shit would have been fire. That shit would have been fire. Carr's top 10 in almost every stat. I never said anything about Carr not being top 10 in every stat. What did they have to do with anything? Your 200 system Carr would be better. You don't want to bring nobody new in and reset the timeline. We're not talking about getting rid of Carr, y'all. Let's get away from that. All right. Let's get away from that. We're not talking about that. Let's get away from that. Diablo took the green dot from Pyramid. Oh, let me catch up. I'm a little behind in the chat, man. Shout out to our guy Mateo. I see our guy wasting in the background. Or is that Gruden or Charles Barkley? I don't know. But let's bring him up.
What's going on, brother?
What's going on, my guy? Wasted. Appreciate you pulling up to the Good Morning Nation. How you doing, brother?
Bro, man, it's an honor to pull up on your platform, brother. I'm cool, man. Down here in Disney World, my kids, man, they had to go to their cheer competition, national championship, man. Came in third, and they both pissed off. One of them broke the trophy. So,
hey, at least they got a trophy.
Nah, bro, they used to winning national titles, bro. They 5-time national champions. This is their first time ever coming in third. So they don't know how to act, bro.
Man. Hey, thanks, when you have a high standard, it's understandable when you have a high standard, man. But look, we're Raider fans, so we're just trying to get to that point to where we get one freaking championship. You understand me? But hey, we out here talking about, and I was just talking about this, and I don't really want to go too much into it. So let's talk about it first and get it over with. Appreciate you coming on, by the way. If y'all not follow the Wasted Talent, man, y'all go over right now. Follow our boy Wasted Talent. Go pay your tab and go over there and hit that subscribe button. Now, I just got to say, man, I'm just saying the last piece of this team that got to step up is Carr. That's it. I'm not saying that he's playing bad or terribly or anything like that. But when I see Devontae Adams being Devontae Adams, no matter what is happening, you see Josh Jacobs doing what he does no matter what the situation is. The old line starting to develop and become a lot better. The defense played its best game of the year. And there's only one spot that I'm looking at saying, okay, this right here could play better. They're not playing terrible. They're not making us lose or anything. But if they just stepped up and just, you know what I mean, got it right just a little bit more, we would propel. Our team would be that next echelon. That's all I'm saying. So what do you think? Do you agree with that, or do you think we're in a good?
I totally agree. Nah, bro, I totally agree, man. And I hate talking about him because it's like then you get the mantra of being a Carr hater, that you hate Derek Carr, and it's not that, bro. I don't understand why we can't be critical of him and be supportive at the same time. You know what I mean? Like you brought up, the video of him missing Mac Hollins in the end zone. That right there, man, superstar quarterbacks don't do that. This guy was wild, not with a guy anywhere around him, bro. And that's what happened in the Cincinnati game, the first round of the playoffs last year. He gets locked in on certain guys and gets emotional and gets on a roll, and he doesn't see the whole field. And when you look at Derek's whole scouting report, even coming out of Fresno State, that's one of the knocks on him. Sometimes he doesn't see the whole field. He has a turnover problem. He has small hands and things like that. And I love Derek, man. And, because of the fact that he's been a stalwart for the Raiders, he's represented the Raiders very well. I mean, he's no Baker Mayfield. Let's make no mistake about that. But, bro, if he was playing at the level he was getting paid at, this team would probably be the best offense in football.
Easily. And I think Derek Carr can do that, though. This is the thing. I feel like we've seen Carr be that guy that could be like, oh, damn, he's making these throws. He's doing everything that we expect him to do. But then sometimes you'll see him kind of fall off of that and then come back to it. So it could just be some inconsistency. But at the same time, like a lot of people are saying, maybe he just needs to continue to be in this offense because it is his first year. It is his fourth offense, you could probably say, or fifth offense, fourth or fifth, something like that. So maybe he just needs to get back in that groove and that rhythm from learning this new one, and next year he'll be better. But let's go ahead and move on, man. Let's go ahead and move on because we do have a super chat. He said there was nobody working 10 yards of Hollins. I hear you, Mateo. I was there. I watched it live. I fucking recorded it. I was pissed. I thought I was about to have the craziest damn video I've ever got a Raiders game, man. But Derek Carr just shit the bed for me. Todd Davis, go ahead, brother.
Oh no, I was saying, yo, they even showed it on national television, bro.
Yeah.
That's why when you said it, I was like, yo, I totally remember that. They even showed it. I mean, and listen, he threw the ball in a place where Devontae Adams would have had to make a circus catch to catch the football.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, he got it there, but it's like, come on, bro. Like you got to take those gimmies too.
Exactly. You got your receiver has a yard on the DB. Just throw it in front of him. Just throw it in front of him to where he could just, put his hands out and catch it ahead of him. But shout out to Todd Davis for dropping a super. Appreciate you, brother, for pulling up as usual, man. He says they showed the replay and Hollins was wide open. DC 4 pick six was the only bad thing I actually saw in this game. Patrick Graham needs to scrap the 3-man blitz. It don't work. Jones showed out. Yes. Let's go ahead and break this one down because it's a multiple part super chat, man. Appreciate you, Todd Davis. But he says Hollins wide open. We just brushed on that, which we know he was wide open. Carr does get locked in, but he's expecting his man Devontae to be wide open, and he tries to hit him right there. It was a little of a lob kind of a throw, which could have just been, a little faster, put a little more oomph on that. But let's go ahead and move on. DC 4 pick six. Now, last week he had 2 interceptions. He was able to overcome that, throws 3 touchdowns. First time in a couple of years. This week comes out, throws a pick six early in the game. It was the first points the Chargers put up on the board. Are we going to be able to see like a little turn from Derek Carr to where he starts to get away from those turnovers and he continues to, and he's able to hold on to those touchdowns?
I don't think so, man. I think 9 years in, he is who he is. And I think that the difference between him being who he is and being, Joe Burrow or Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes is that. Because if he didn't do things like that, he didn't have those peaks and valleys in his play, he'd be a top 5 quarterback.
Yeah.
I just think that we just got to pray that he gets on one of those streaks where he's at a peak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially when at the end of the season, because the way I see things shaping up, man, Thursday, man, look, and the funny thing is I don't want to put the cart before the horse because all season there have been games that we were thinking that we should dog walk certain teams and we go in there and we lose. You know what I mean? So the way things are lined up for us, if we go in there, we beat the Rams. Then you got that Patriot game. If you can win that Patriot game, then you can start talking, maybe we can get into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about it is that, okay, you got the Patriot game, you got the Pittsburgh Steelers game, which is a rough one because it's in, it's on Christmas Eve. It's going to be cold. Kenny Pickett seems like he's starting to figure it out a little bit. Mike Tomlin is always formidable. But the Chief game is the game where it's like, dude, we need the best Derek Carr. You cannot throw interceptions playing the Chiefs. You just can't, man. You can't. You can overcome that playing against a lot of these other teams. And also the Patriots game. The Patriots have one of the best defenses in football right now. You cannot turn the ball over against them because you're not going to be able to run up and down the field and score all over that defense like that.
Correct. 100%.
So, I mean, so I don't know, man. This is the thing that scares me about Derek, and this is one of the reasons why I've always been a proponent for us always drafting a quarterback every single year to push his ass. Because I want the quarterback to be like the kicker. I want it to be like automatic. We know he's going to play well. You give him what he needs, he's going to play well. With Derek, you don't always know that.
Yeah, I can agree. I can agree. But to your point, we need the best Derek to be here late in the season. We need to win these games in December, and we need him to finally click with the offense and figure it out to where, there is no pick six. Instead of a pick six, you're making that touchdown to Hollins, right? That's all I'm looking for. I'm not saying he's a terrible quarterback, nothing like that. All I'm saying is that if we can get him to throw that touchdown to Hollins or even hit Adams to where he doesn't have to make some acrobatic catch and lets the defender make a play, and instead of throwing that pick six, it changes the dynamic of this whole team, right? Because you're putting up 34 points and you're not giving 7 to the Chargers. That's a 14-point swing. That's a 14-point swing. So huge. That's all I'm saying, man. Let's go ahead and move on to the defense side of the ball real quick. What Todd Davis says, Patrick Graham needs to scrap the 3-man blitz. I could somewhat attest to that. I think his multiple defense, I like it though, man. He probably throws those in there, but I love his multiple defense because watching it in person, watching that game in person, when There was one specific play that had my brain like I was like, oh snap! I thought it was busted coverage. I genuinely thought it was busted coverage. But what ended up ultimately happening is that we ran man for a long time, and then all of a sudden we show up in man, and then they break out into a zone. And I thought it was busted coverage in my head, and I'm like, oh snap! Oh, he's wide open, he's wide open. But then all of a sudden he runs right into another man's zone, and the meek falls off and back into his zone. And I was like, oh, that was a good play right there. That was a good play. So I think this is why he does some of those things. One thing I would agree with though is stop dropping Max Crosby in freaking covers. Like, bro,
That's the worst. That's the worst, bro. Like, I don't
you
understand
don't pay that
why
much
would you
for
do
a
that?
guy to drop in coverage.
I've never seen Reggie White dropped into coverage.
Mm.
I've never seen Bruce Smith dropped into coverage. I've never seen Javon Curse dropped into coverage. Like I don't understand why when you have a guy that's one of the five best pass rushers in football, you even play around with that. I think that's the problem with this coaching staff in a nutshell. You know, I've always been a supporter of this coaching staff. I've
Yeah.
never been one of these guys that's been like, we need to fire them. We need to see it through, right?
Yeah.
The one problem with these guys are they make something that's very, very simple about football and they make it too complicated. Like the same way how Josh McDaniels will go and like abandon the run. Patrick Graham does a lot of dumb shit when it comes to the way he plays Max Crosby, man.
Yep.
If he could just eliminate that from his repertoire, man, I think we'll have a very, very formidable defense going forward for the rest of the season.
You know, I don't think Patrick Graham is used to having a good pass rusher on his team or something. I think that's what it is. He don't know what it is to have an edge rusher like Max Crosby, and he over here trying to have him do the same things that he was having guys like on the Giants doing and stuff like that. Like you can't do that. You can't do that, man. Shout out to Raider Reaper. He says, "You see the snow bunny? I slid Mark Davis." Hey, shout out to the Reaper, man, because he loves the snow bunnies. But I don't know what Mark Davis is doing. I don't know what Mark Davis doing out there. Yeah, he was with a little tender, but I don't know what Shorty was doing out there with that man. They said it was his new barber. That's why he had her. That's why he had her there. But
well, did she have a cereal bowl with her?
shit, I don't know if she did, bro. I don't.
Listen, if she had a cereal bowl, if she ain't have a cereal bowl, that's not his new barber because we all know
She
that
just slapped the Louis bag over his head and started cutting around that motherfucker apparently because.
Bucky Larceny shit.
Yeah, shout out to Anthony. He says, "Good morning, my brothers. I'm about to get this cardio in and listen to y'all, so keep it juicy." Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. You know what it is. Shout out to everybody that's going to the gym, going to school, going to work, getting your grind in. Y'all know what time it is. It's Good Morning Nation. We got a special guest wasted with us. You know what time it is, man. Go make sure you go follow him and go pay your tab and hit that subscribe button over on Wasted Talent. You understand me? So let's go ahead and hop into this chat real quick. Let's see what our guy Honcho 562 has to say. He says Herbert gets his stats because they throw 40 to 50 times a game. DC got the game stats, same stats basically, and thrown less. Okay. I mean, I'm not really here to debate with Herbert or Carr because I've always said Herbert's been overrated. I feel like Herbert's needs to do more in order to get as much praise as he's gotten. That's my thing. He's had talent. He's had O-line. He's got Eckler. Just like I give shit for Derek Carr this year, I give shit for Herbert over on the Chargers. So that's kind of how I see it.
It's hard to not give a guy that throws for 5,000 yards praise. Like how many people have thrown for 5,000 yards? You know what I mean? And the dude is super talented, and it's not like they ever have all of their weapons in one place. Like, you know, he went through a stretch last year where he didn't have Mike Williams. This year he has a stretch where he's not having Mike Williams. I think, you know, Keenan Allen gets really dinged up. It's not like he's got a who's who of talent around him like Joe Burrow. You know what I mean? Like Joe Burrow has like the smorgasbord of receivers, man. Like I would take their fucking second receiver. You know what I mean? So I can't. I'm not a big Herbert fan, bro, because I hate the Chargers, but I got to be real. They're not four quarterbacks in football that you can name and not name him.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I understand.
You know, like
when it comes to me, I say from a talent perspective, his arm, his size, you know what I mean, his mobility, that's what you want out of any quarterback. That's what you want. He's tall, he's strong, he can be mobile, and he got some good arm. The only thing for me is that he got to have that killer instinct mentality. That's all I want to see from him. He got to have that killer instinct mentality. He can't let us go in there or last year let us win and sit there and talk about I ain't want to tie so bad, blah, blah, blah. Man, you shouldn't have thrown that interception earlier in the game trying to come back on every single fourth down opportunity. Because I'd be saying the same shit about Carr. So I got to keep it an even playing field.
Yeah,
But
no, that's true. That's true. And real quick, man, Watts Razor said that Carr threw for 4,800 yards last year. That's not 5,000 Watts. That's 200 yards shorts, brother.
yeah.
There's not a lot of people in the National Football League ever who have thrown for 5,000 yards. Am I wrong, Ray? I mean, how many people have ever thrown for 5,000 yards?
I don't hear nothing. I don't hear no lies. I don't hear no lies. I don't hear no lies. Watch though. Let's go ahead and move on to the defense, man. Let's go ahead and talk about the defense because the quarterback thing, that'll get us. That'll go down a whole different thing, man. But he says actually Graham called a good game. Now let's talk about the coaching staff in general, man. Because just a few weeks ago, Raider Nation was in cahoots talking about fire McDaniels, fire this, fire that, and it's completely understandable. I mean, we're losing, and we're coming off of a season where we made the playoffs, to where we were going on a run, and we were looking at it to where we only needed a few freaking players to come in and take that next step. Now all of a sudden it looks like the tables is turning. Now all of a sudden we win 3 games straight. McDaniels looks like he's calling some good plays. I'll be honest. I like some of the play calling he has out there. Situationally, I think he still needs to learn how to be a head coach and a play caller at the same time and learn how to situationally know what to do. I know a lot of people criticize him for that, say he's conservative. He'll get conservative. Or I think it was last week we kicked a field goal and we had the ball. There was like 14 seconds left and it was second down. And I think we kicked a field goal or something. Some people were upset with that. But I do like the play calling. I think he's able to scheme open a lot of people, man. I think he's able to – he's built up this offensive line to where they understand, okay, I could give my quarterback some time. And we're able to actually develop some good plays. I'm actually, starting to turn the page on this damn coaching staff and say, hey, give them some time to gel, and we may have something on our hands. Now, what do you think about McDaniels as far as the play caller? And we'll talk about his situational here shortly.
Man, I love him as a play caller. I just think that they're just, everybody, like, got quarterbacks, players. You got to learn your team, and you got to learn how it is to be a head coach first and not just a play caller. And I think that he's been going through his growing pains as a head coach. And now he's starting to hit his stride a little bit. Now he's starting to balance being a head coach and a terrific play caller. But a lot of the games that we lost, and this is what I've always said, man, every play that this guy's called at the end of these games, we've had a chance to make a play on the football, and guys haven't executed.
Yeah.
Like, let's look at the Tennessee game. They're down in the goal line. They got a chance to win the game. Derek Carr puts the ball a little high, but it's in Darren Waller's hands. He gets paid a lot of money. Darren Waller does not catch the football.
Yeah.
Done. Then the Kansas City game. The end of the game, Hunter Renfrow runs into Devontae Adams. If Hunter Renfrow runs the right route and doesn't run into Devontae Adams, that's a touchdown. We win that game. Like, there haven't been any games where we've lost them because of his play calling. Now, we've been put in bad situations where he's made mistakes, gambling or calling a trick play. And, yeah, you're going to have 1 or 2 of those a game, but he's never coached us out of a game the way Brandon Staley does with the Chargers. Like, Brandon Staley should be fired right after the season.
Yeah.
100,000%, man. Like, but with Josh McDaniels, man, he's one of the brightest play callers I've seen in professional football. I mean, there's not too many guys I can name that's on his level besides, Shanahan and like McVay and guys like that. But from what I'm seeing, the way that Devontae Adams is eating and the way he takes the guys in his offense with all of the talent and puts them in a position to be featured in his offense, man, you can't ask for more than that.
No. And I ain't gonna lie, man. Just talk about it gets me excited because it's just like we have that guy. We got a dude that's going to go out there and make these play calls because you talk about Patrick Mahomes is so good because he has Andy Reid, right? A lot of people will say, well, he has Andy Reid. He has one of the best. I think we got a guy that can go out there and make some play calls as well, just as good as Andy Reid can make some play calls. And a lot of people don't understand that Andy Reid gets bailed out by Patrick Mahomes a lot. Sometimes the play just breaks down and Patrick Mahomes just makes a play.
Yes,
we don't really have that, but we have a guy that's able to make some play calls that's going to keep us in rhythm. You talk about Josh Jacobs goes on a 12-yard little scamper, right? Very next play, you call a flea flicker, touchdown. Devontae Adams is wide open. There's not a guy within 5 yards of Devontae Adams, right? It's the sequence of how he's calling these plays, too, to where he's able to just do these things and get a guy so wide open it don't even make freaking sense. So I'm definitely happy the fact that we got this guy as our head coach now, and I just want to see that consistency, and I just want to see him grow as a situational head coach. I want to see him grow as that, the 2-minute drives at the end of the first half. I want to see him be able to be a little bit more aggressive, maybe even take a shot at the end zone or just figure that out to where we're not settling for a field goal on the second down. I wasn't upset with that. I wasn't upset with it, but I feel like he could have worked something a little bit more better based on the way how good he is at calling plays, right?
Yeah.
He's got to be able to figure out how to utilize that in situational moments.
But can I ask you a question? Would a guy like Derek Carr, right, and being that he turned the ball over, earlier in that game,
Mhm.
do you think that sometimes Josh McDaniels feels like, listen, man, I got to take this game out of Carr's hands and just get the definite here. We need this 3 points right here. I know that's a definite. I know that we're not going to turn the football over. I know I got one of the best kickers in football. Let me get these points. Let me get on to halftime and try, because the game is not won in one half. I think
Yes.
some of the mistakes he's made earlier in the season was trying to win the game in 2 quarters.
Yeah.
And emptying the clip in 2 quarters, and then you can't move the football in the second half, and
Yeah.
him not taking points. There's been a couple of games this season where had he taken the points and taken that easy, give me 3 points, we would have won. So, every point that you can get, that's a definite, you got to take it, man. I can't really be mad at him. The only thing I don't like about what Josh McDaniels doesn't do is, and this is the difference between him and Bill Belichick, he knows a lot of new school football. He's responsible for a lot of what happens in the National Football League, now the way people call offenses and things like that. But I just think from him being around Bill all of those years, man, and running that Ron Earhart offense, he needs to realize sometimes that football is very, very basic at every level. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
And
Like,
run
even
the
if
ball.
they know you're going to run, you still going to run.
Yeah, because you know why? Because if you don't, it's not respected. It's the same way in boxing, how a lot of times, man, with power punchers, they don't throw enough jabs. Sometimes, man, you got to throw that jab out there to let people know that it's there.
Yeah.
It might not sting that much, but you gotta keep throwing it out there just so you can set up that power punch.
Yep. Most definitely. Shout out to our guy Snyder, man. He was going ham earlier in the show when I first popped up. He got us a question for our guest, Wasted. Appreciate you, man. Says, what you
Appreciate you,
think
dog.
about Mayfield, Waller, Renfro, and JJ? And of course, you got to throw Adams in there. But I'll go ahead and let you do what you got to do.
Bro, what I think about Baker Mayfield is, I think Baker Mayfield is better off bagging groceries and making commercials. Because I would never want Baker Mayfield being my quarterback, and I said that when he was at Oklahoma. Nope. This guy is an exact product of Lincoln Riley.
Yeah,
he's an exact product of Lincoln Riley, bro. The guy, there's nothing that Baker Mayfield does to where you can put your hat on and say, yo, he's super accurate. He's a great athlete. He has a strong arm. He's a great leader. He's none of these things. He's a punk. He's been given too much too soon. And to be honest with you, man, I think it kind of disgusts me the way that they treated him, and they canonized this guy. And then you saw a guy like Lamar Jackson, who's a supremely talented individual, bro, and they did everything they could to knock Lamar Jackson down to the bottom of the heap. And even to this day, they won't pay this guy because he's a run-first quarterback, and it's hard to pay a run-first quarterback because you pay a guy for what they're going to do and not what they did in the past. But Baker Mayfield should have never been the number one pick of that draft.
No,
it just ain't no way, man. It was nothing that I saw from him that made me confident. To me, he's Johnny Manziel. He's Johnny Manziel with a little bit better of a work ethic. And I think Johnny Manziel probably had more athletic ability than him. I don't want Baker Mayfield anywhere, but
yeah. No, I agree with you. I'm not a big fan of Baker Mayfield. I think he's straight garbage. If you can't be successful with Jarvis Landry, OBJ, Nick Chubb, a good offensive line, Kareem Hunt, and a good defense, I'm sorry. You're not going to be successful over here with the Raiders. No, you're not going to do that. And I don't want Baker Mayfield, man. Hell no. I'd rather keep Derek Carr. Derek Carr better than Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield not even top 15 in my opinion. Carr is.
Baker Mayfield's a backup.
Yeah, he's a backup. He's a good backup. You know what I mean? Yeah, fuck yeah.
The way he's getting paid is the problem. See, now you rectified all of that because he's gotten cut now. So now if you're going to sign him as a backup, and I don't want him as a backup here with us. He's not going to fit in. He's not mature enough. He hasn't realized that he's not the guy that he thinks he is. He hasn't realized that once he realizes that he's a backup and he humbles himself, he'll be good for another organization, just not here with us.
Yeah. Shout out to Chevy Silv. He says F Mayfield. I agree with you 100%, brother. There was no way in hell I would want that man to even touch any jersey that's black and silver. You understand me? All right, we can't be having that at all. Shout out to our guy. He says the staff has to know our defense isn't as good as they need to be and get more pieces. I think Zeke will do that this draft and all season. I definitely agree. I definitely agree. Shout out to our guy Snyder for the super chat, man. I know you're Snyder, you're not feeling Carr, but I don't think Baker Mayfield is the answer. No, definitely not. I wouldn't want to do that, man. But one thing I gotta say is the defense is starting to do some things now. You know what I mean? Last week, Max Crosby showed up, and Max Crosby was showing up in crunch time. I'm talking about clutch moments to where the game is on the line. Third down, you get the sack. You don't even let him get a pass off. And that's what I've been waiting to see from these damn defensive edge, okay? I've seen a great defensive edge on the Raiders before. His name was Khalil Mack. He got all pro in 2 different positions in the same damn year as an outside linebacker, as a defensive end. I seen him in 2016 close out games, single-handedly close 4 games with strip sack fumbles. So it's not like I haven't seen, or we as a team or as fans haven't seen a defensive player be able to close games for us. If we're able to get somebody like that out of Max Crosby to where he could do it against Seattle, he's able to get him on third down. You take him down to the ground. Don't let him get a freaking pass off. Get the ball back to your defense. That's what we've been needing to see. That's what we've been needing, and we got it from Crosby last week. This week was Chandler Jones. Now, this week, I don't know what you think about Chandler Jones, man, but was it only because the Chargers' offensive line is depleted that Chandler Jones has finally showed up?
I think it's a little bit of both, because he's been trending in that direction, right? And he's been doing, I think a lot of Chandler Jones, and I think it has a lot to do with Tillery as well, because Tillery is a specialist at getting pressure up the middle, right? Bilal Nichols is a specialist. He hasn't committed one pass rush move to memory, but he's a guy who gets upfield very well. Even when he's with the Chicago Bears, he's just a guy who pushes that pocket up the middle, right? So I think with the advent of Jerry Tillery, now Chandler Jones doesn't have to play contain as much because the kid is active. He moves up and down the defensive line. He makes tackles. He's stopping the run. So now Chandler Jones can kind of get back into that mode he was in Arizona, where he was more of an outside rush linebacker. And now he can just rush the passer. I think he's been asked to kind of hold serve a little bit in our run game, because the one reason why, and everybody said, oh, Yannick had this many sacks. Sacks can be an overrated stat based off of when you get them. It could be an overrated stat. If you get a sack on second down and you get the guy down, and now it's second and long, and then they get a first down and they keep going, they run out and score. What does that sack really mean? See the difference between that kind of a sack, and that's a lot of what Yannick Ngakoue does, and the way Max Crosby or Khalil Mack will come and close a drive out with that sack. That's a big difference. You know what I mean? And I think that what Chandler Jones has done for us is we have not been susceptible to getting ran on all season, and nobody's noticed that. Last year, it was almost a certainty. If it was a short yardage situation and you ran the football, you were gonna convert that third down, because all you had to do was run the Yannick Ngakoue's way. I think Yannick Ngakoue had 15 tackles last year, bro. That's fucking ridiculous for a defensive end. 15 tackles, bro. I really believe that Chandler Jones is an older guy. I believe that they figured out the way they need to use him, and I think that they need to start filtering in some of these other guys, the Malcolm Kuntzes of the world, to help get pressure on the quarterback and spell him, because Chandler Jones is a little long in the tooth. But I think that he's going to trend in a direction where he gets about 9 sacks this season.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. I think Chandler Jones is showing those signs of being an all-around defensive end instead of just this what they called Yannick last year, a pass rush specialist or something like that. And damn, I don't even know if he was a pass rush specialist. I think he was just, I don't even know what you would call Yannick last year, man. He did not defend the run at all. Like, you would just shoot up field and they would just run to his side, they'd be gone. And like you said, Kuntz, I don't know what it is with Kuntz, but they got to get this dude on the field here and there at least, like maybe 15% of the snaps on edge, anything. He's not even taking 10%. I don't even think he's had 10 snaps on defense in the entire season. So I don't know what it is with Kuntz. I don't know if it was because that little highlight we seen of Josh McDaniels yelling at him, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, yeah, this guy's not – I don't know what it is, man. But we the people said,
maybe he's not bright. Maybe he's not bright. Maybe he's not bright, because when you heard Patrick Graham say that, we don't have what we need, it's the players. We need guys that are faster. We got some guys that aren't fast. We got some guys who aren't that sharp. Maybe that's one of the guys that they're saying isn't that sharp.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand why Cleveland Farrell isn't playing more. I don't get it. You might as well. You know you're going to cut him. You might as well get what you can out of him. You're not going to re-sign him. It doesn't matter if he plays himself into another contract. You know you're going to cut bait with him. Let the fucking guy play some more. I don't understand, man.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. Our guy Tickler says his card worth $33 million next year. I say $15 million max. 15 million. Man. That's fucking crackhead prices right there. I ain't gonna lie.
Nah, bro. You got backups making $15 million.
Yeah.
Man. There's no way you could pay Derek Carr $15 million, bro.
Yeah, you can't pay. I think his cap hit is 35. Actually, it's actually more than 33. His cap hit is 35 million. I would hope that we could figure something out to where we could take a little bit of that cap from Carr and give it to Jacobs. That's all I would say. If we keep, I know we're keeping Carr. He's not going anywhere. I think we could all agree on that. Carr is not going anywhere.
No, he's not. He's not. That whole.
I would just like to see some of that money go to Jacobs. That's it.
He's not the only guy though, bro. There are a few guys on this team, and I was going to get into this a little later, man. Chandler Jones is at the top of my list. He needs to take a haircut. Yes. Chandler Jones, his deal needs to be restructured. His agent went in and stuck this organization up with a gun and a mask, bro. It should be highway robbery for the amount of money they're paying this guy. Man, they're paying this guy like he's fucking like
he's Max Crosby.
Yeah, bro, they're paying him like Max Crosby, and it's like, bro, the guy is fucking super old, and he's never gonna play at the level he used to when he was on the Patriots. It just ain't gonna happen, bro. Him having 19 sacks a couple years, that shit ain't happening no more, bro. He needs to get restructured. Darren Waller, they need to take Darren Waller and they need to package him and either bring a defensive player back over here. And I think that if it were me, and I don't care how well he plays for the rest of the season, I would not want Darren Waller on my team because I know that Darren Waller football isn't his first priority, bro. You can just see it. And then there's other caveats that people don't look at. With him having the kind of drug problem that he has, right? When he gets hurt, he can't have pain management the same way other players do. He can't take, lidocaine and things like that because these are things that are triggers for him. So he has to pretty much deal with his pain in a way where, like, he can't take any painkillers, any shots, none of that. So he's going to be out longer than a lot of other players, man. And then he's on the wrong side of 30. And to me, he is the new Jermichael Finley. I don't see Darren Waller playing at a high level again, bro, because it doesn't seem like he's fucking invested in football like that. And he's always probably going to get paid. I mean, this is a guy who's built like a Greek god, bro, and does not love football. Even before all of this, before he got here, when he was in Baltimore, how could you have the world by the balls like that and not want to be your best? It took for you to come here to the Raiders and for John Gruden to pull that out of you, bro. And ever since John Gruden's left, he really hasn't seemed like himself, man. To me, I hope he plays well these last few games when he comes back. And I hope they take his ass, package him up, and get him the fuck out of here and give Josh Jacobs his money.
That's something I agree with. And look, I got my head ripped off last year for even talking about trading Waller. I was getting torn apart last year talking about trading Waller. And look, I felt like that was the highest value we could have got for him was last year.
Bro, you and I both said that. You and I both said that. We were the ones who got destroyed for saying that they shouldn't give him a new contract. They should trade him. They should do this. They should do that. We got destroyed for that, bro. And for me, I don't fall in love with players like that, bro. I look at it from a perspective of what's best for the team going in the future, man. Yes. You know what I mean? Like Darren Waller, bro, at his height, even if he's playing the best he can play, you still can't say that Darren Waller is one of the top 5 tight ends of football because he don't fucking block anybody, bro. Look at a guy like Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews has the same production as Darren Waller, and he's almost like putting a swing tackle out there when he blocks. I mean, that's how good of a blocker that guy is, man. Or George Kittle. I hate the 49ers, man, but you got to give George Kittle his respect, man. George Kittle is an animal in the blocking game, bro. I think if you're going to get paid at that level, like you're a top 3 player, you have to actually be that. You have to play all around football for me. Because if you look at the ascension of Josh Jacobs this year, I think one of the huge things about Josh Jacobs going crazy the way he has is because Mac Hollins out there blocking people and not having a little tiny guy like Hunter Renfrow out there. And also Foster Moreau playing more. That 30-yard touchdown that he had you can give that, you get a credit to Mac Hollins and Foster Moreau the way they blocked on that play. They
Yeah.
opened that hole up for him, bro. If Darren Waller was out there, I don't necessarily know if Josh gets free like that.
100%. 100% agree with everything you just said. I would even add to the fact that I would love to see Darren Waller break some freaking tackles and get some yak. Like we talked about, he's a physical specimen. He's big and fast. How come we're not seeing him take off, catching a 5-yard pass, taking it to the house for like a 30-yard, 35-yard touchdown or something like that? I see Travis Kelce catch a 5-yard pass and literally, he's not the fastest, but he's running around guys going 30 yards, 40 yards for a touchdown. I would love to see Darren Waller do that. I'm tired of Darren Waller getting tackled by the first guy that comes up to come up to hit him. That's something I would definitely add to that. We got a super though from our guy Raider Primos, man. You know, I think this is a good spot right here. Good spot right here to go ahead and transition. We're going to talk about the rest of the season, man. He says, "How y'all feeling about our next 4 games? You got Los Angeles Rams, injury-ridden team, which we know they got some injuries. We got to go out there and win that one. Then we got New England. It's going to be a revenge game for Josh McDaniels. So let's go ahead and take this one by one, actually, before we move on. Los Angeles Rams, we got them Thursday Night Football. We got a short week. And potentially, we just got done talking about Darren Waller. He could potentially be back this week. He's eligible to come off of IR this week as Hunter Renfrow is as well, I believe. So what are we looking at LA Rams, man? We should go out there and win, right? Like there's not too much to talk about with this one.
Yeah, I mean, bro, the problem, the thing that just scares me is that theoretically, how many games have we said that about this year? Like they got to go out here and they got to treat this game like it's a playoff game. Every game from now on is a playoff game. Because even though they have a backup quarterback, bro, we went into Indianapolis playing a team with a guy who was coaching a fucking high school team and has never had one meaningful snap as a head coach. And they beat us.
Yeah.
Now, I know it's a little different there because they had a backup plan and then they activated Matty Ice and Matty Ice hit the Fountain of Youth and they're throwing the ball all over the place and they beat us. But look, man, the Jacksonville game, that should have been a dub.
Yep.
Like, it's just so many games this year where we should have won, man. I think we're going to win, but I think, man, that if they don't realize what they have to do to win, and that's taking the ball out of Derek's hands in the beginning of the football game. I just feel like when they start off putting the game on Derek's shoulders, a lot of times with this new offense, he won't check out of things. He throws interceptions. He puts us in a hole. They need to start off with a heavy dose of running that football. If they run the football and control the tempo of the game, we should blow them out.
I agree. I 100% agree, man. I hear you on that. I think we just got to beat the Rams. At the end of the day, this Rams game, it's just got to be a dub. If we're the team we think we are, we're on a 3-game winning streak. You go in and you make this a 4-game winning streak and you go out there and beat the Rams. Now, one thing I'm 100% concerned with is that I feel like sometimes we'll play down to our opponent. You know what I mean? Like for instance, we play the Chiefs and then all of a sudden we're neck and neck with the Chiefs. You know what I mean? Then all of a sudden you go play the Jags and then we're playing down. And we'll go play the Seahawks. You're neck and neck with the Seahawks, putting up fucking 40 points. The next thing you know, you play the Colts and you play down. Stuff like that. So I just hope we don't play down to the Rams and think in our heads we go in there, oh, they're all hurt, so we don't have to do this or we don't have to try this hard or we have to do this. No, we got to go play our game no matter who we go up against. And speaking of playing up, we'd have to play up going up against New England because I feel that right there is going to be the ultimate matchup of the Patriots defense because Bill Belichick is the defensive coach. Then you got Josh McDaniels going up against his former sensei, and got that offense clicking. So that's going to be an ultimate chess match right there. Now, when you talk about the flip side, you got Matt Patricia on, coaching the Patriots offense, and we know what's going on with that. I'm not too concerned with that. Patrick Graham is just going to have to coach up a good game. And he's going to have to go out there and be solid. But one thing that is concerning with that is that he comes from that area, right? He comes from Bill Belichick. We got guys that are coming from this very origin of the Patriots. So what do you think is going to happen when it comes to that chess match of Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels? How much fun that one going to be?
I think it's going to be fun, but I think the talent of the Raiders is going to win out in that matchup. I think that, Bill Belichick is definitely a genius. Now, man, me being from the tri-state area, man, I've seen Bill Belichick my whole life when he was the defensive coordinator for the Giants and the 86 Giants and watching them my whole life and watching him go to the Jets and then go to Cleveland. And He's a genius defensively. Let's make no mistake about it. But the problem is I think that what's starting to happen to Bill Belichick is on the offensive end of the football, the magic that was in New England went to Tampa Bay and number 12, Tom Brady. And Josh McDaniels covered up for a lot of the deficiencies with Mac Jones, but now everybody has all the game tape on Mac Jones. So now you're not catching anybody by surprise anymore. Now people can see how pedestrian of a quarterback he is. So I just believe that if we can get out there and we can put our horses out there, the Josh Jacobs of the world, and run through that fucking defense and break their spirit, we really can win that game, man. I think Josh McDaniels beat Bill Belichick when he was in Denver. I think it's one of the only games he won out there. You know, I could be wrong, man. It's a long time ago, but Bill Belichick's former assistants do not do well against him. But if anyone will do well against him, it's going to be Josh McDaniels. I think it's going to be the same way how when Eric Mangini was with the Jets, he beat Bill a few times. I think those are his brightest guys that come off of his coaching tree, to be honest with you. I think Eric Mangini kind of got a bad rap trying to beat Bill too much. But yeah. Eric Mangini and Josh McDaniels are his two brightest guys that have come off his coaching tree. People say Vrabel, but Vrabel never was in his coaching tree. He played for him. So you can't add that to him. But Patricia and all them guys are bums. I think that Josh has something for Bill because he did used to call Bill's defense. It's so ancestral, bro. And I saw the way we dog walked them when in the offseason, man. It was no match. It was just no match. I just think our offense is so talented they can't do anything with our offense, man. And if we get Darren Waller back for that, and we feature Darren Waller more like a wide receiver and not a tight end, and you can have those formations when you have Waller on the field the same time as Moreau, I think we should really do well against the Patriots, to be quite honest with you, especially because we don't have to play in the cold and we're going to be home.
Yeah, no, I 100% hear you, man. Not only, I would even add to the fact that Bill Belichick likes to choose a player on the opponent's side of the ball to shut down. Like he likes to find the guy. Okay, Devontae Adams is not having a game, and usually that's how Bill Belichick will go into it. So, do you think he's going to choose Jacobs to shut down, or he's going to pick Adams? Because I feel like that's how Bill is. He chooses somebody on that opponent's side, and he's like, "I'm shutting this guy down. He's not having a game whatsoever." I feel like he's going to probably want to take out. He's going to probably want to take Adams. Honestly, I think
it's going to be Adams. It's definitely it has to be Adams, bro, because that's the home run threat right there. Yeah. You got to get rid of the home run threat and make them earn it in blood, man. You know, with Josh, Josh has had some long touchdowns, but it's an accumulative effect, man. It's not the knockout punch. Devontae Adams is the knockout punch. So yes. You the whole time you're going to be. You're like, listen, we're going to make this thing go 12 rounds. We're not getting knocked out in the first round. It's definitely got to be Devontae Adams. But the problem is that we're so talented. If you do that to Devontae Adams, Mac Hollins is no scrub. You know, Darren Waller in the passing game is no scrub. If you're putting him in the right situation to catch the ball, and Derek's not like setting him up for failure like he does a lot of the times. Like, you know, that's not my shot to Derek, but let's just be honest. Darren Waller is not trying to get blown up. No. You could throw the ball. There's a lot of receivers that are willing to sacrifice themselves in a certain way. Darren Waller is not willing to get blown up. He's not willing to advance the ball after you tackle him. He goes down. So you got to feature Darren Waller as a wide receiver in a slot or something like that.
No, 100% agree, man. Let's go ahead and move on, though, man. Let's go ahead and close this out with the Pittsburgh in this SF game. Look, the Pittsburgh game. Well, one thing I do want to talk about New England is that, you know, Derek Carr hasn't historically played well against New England. I don't know what it is. I mean, even when we played them against them and they had Cam Newton, we didn't even do good. But let's go ahead and move on, man. We got Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh, that's someone that Carr does play well against. He's always played well against him. And I don't know if it was because Big Ben was afraid of the shield, and then so they would always lose against us. But I feel like we've been pretty good against Pittsburgh in recent history. I mean, the last 3 or 4 times we played them, we beat them. So I think we should be able to get a victory in that one, man.
See, that's the game I'm worried about because Derek Carr historically has played very poorly in games below 30 degrees. You can almost guarantee it's Christmas Eve, it's December, it's in Western Pennsylvania. Me being from the Northeast, I know how cold it gets out there. Yeah. Brother, I'm going to be honest with you. My daughters had a cheer competition out there in the wintertime last year out in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, very, very close to It's not super close. It's like about 30 minutes out of Pittsburgh. Brother, when I tell you that's a different kind of cold, that's a different kind of cold, bro. That's that lake. I don't know if they're getting stuff from Lake Michigan. My geography's all fucked up, but it's freezing out there, bro. It's different, Raid. I'm telling you, bro. When it gets cold out there in Pittsburgh, bro, it is a different kind of cold. I'm praying that if we do play them, that it's a seasonably warm day. If it's a seasonably warm day and it's 40 degrees, Carr got it. But if not, bro, because you remember last year, we squeaked by the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland with a backup to the backup plan, bro.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
Oh, I think this will be the ultimate test for Derek Carr. Can he play in the cold or not? I think that'll just be the ultimate test for him. But at the end of the day,
he can't play in the cold. He can't play in the cold. We've already established that he's terrible.
I mean, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. But let's go ahead and talk about San Francisco real quick. This is the last game we're gonna talk about, man, and we're gonna move on real quick because I am over an hour. Usually I only go an hour, but he says San Francisco down to the third string quarterback. What are we looking at in San Francisco? This is the game I'm waiting for, man. Honestly, I'm in Cali, Northern Cali to be exact. I'm in Sacramento. I got a bunch of friends that are Niner fans. I'm a Raider, obviously. I got money on this fucking game, so we better win this shit. But at the end of the day, man, they're all down to their third string quarterback.
Brock High Stakes Purdy.
Yeah, I don't even know who that is, bro. I was talking to my boy yesterday. He was like, Purdy. I'm like, shit, I thought y'all picked up Josh Johnson. I don't know who Purdy is.
Brock High Stakes Purdy is a filthy bum.
Hey, what
it's a bum, man.
Yeah. I thought you was about to say he was actually decent. He said he's a high stakes Purdy. He's a bum. Well, no, but I really want to see our offense against this defense, bro. That's like that's like the reason I really want to watch this game, because I feel like this matchup, their defense versus our offense, I just want to see them clash. I want to see Carr. I want to see how Carr does against a defense like this, because I feel like the Broncos, they had the number one defense, but it's the freaking Broncos, bro. Like, that didn't convince me. They don't convince me. The Broncos, like, that's them. Let's play a good defense in the Frisco up against our high-flying offense. And I want to see what we could do against San Fran, because we know their D-line. They got Bosa out there, which is better than his brother. He's the better of the Bosas, right, especially right now. They got a good interior line. So it's going to be ultimate test for our offensive line right there, as it is already. Then their front seven as a whole, because their linebacking core is full of dogs. Josh Jacobs is going to have a rude awakening because Fred Warner's going to be back there. Now, the one thing that we do have an advantage is I have no idea who they have in the DB room that's going to be able to cover Waller, if he's back by then or if he's playing up to par with the offense by then. I don't know who's going to cover Waller and Adams at that point when it comes to San Fran. But I do want to watch this matchup. This is the one I'm most excited for, and this is on New Year's. So I think this is going to be a crazy one, man. I think this is the most anticipated one as far as these next 4 weeks, that I'm saying, okay, if we do lose any, San Francisco would be a tough one.
Yeah, man. I think we can get that win, bro. I just think that it's going to be on the defense to win that game, our defense, because Derek is going to get hit a lot in that game. Let's just call it what it is, man. Yeah. And to be honest with you, Josh is not going to be able to just run the ball all over San Francisco like that. Yeah. The thing is that when you talk about, Derek Carr, man, when you hit him, he turns the ball over a lot. Let's call it what it is. And against San Francisco, they hit people. They're out there laying the wood, man. I think our defense is going to have to make Brock Purdy look like a third-string quarterback. If the defense can make him look like a third-string quarterback, we can get some turnovers on our own. We should probably win that game. But I don't think that game goes the way we think. I think that game is going to come down to the fourth quarter, man.
Yeah, 100%. And it sucks because they got a third-string quarterback, yet they're still able to be competitive, man. That's what's crazy. Shout out to Todd Davis for the super. He says the upcoming games that scares me are the ones we're supposed to win. Probably like this Ram game and the Pittsburgh game, definitely are ones we should most likely win. We tend to lose the ones we should win, but I'm keeping the faith. Yeah, we kind of talked about it, and Wasted did touch on the fact that, look, you talk about the Colts, should have won that game. You talk about the Jags, you should have won that game. Even the Cardinals game, I feel like we should have won that one. And we came up short. But at the end of the day, man, look, we're on a 3-game winning streak. Now, you understand? We're on a 3-game winning streak. We're rolling in a short week going up against the Rams for Thursday Night Football. So it's gonna be an interesting one, man. Wasted. I think phone may have died or something like that. But look, appreciate him being up here. He may have had to go or something like that. But look, it's gonna be a hell of a season, guys. It's gonna be a hell of a season. I really feel like it's gonna come down to that Chiefs game. I really feel like it's gonna come down to that Chiefs game. And oh, is he back? Is he back? I think it's really gonna come down to that Chiefs game, y'all. Watch Raider says he's averaging 3 yards a carry with 4 touchdowns. Who is? Who's that? Who's that? Not worried about Najee Harris, bro. Okay, Najee. Yeah. But look, y'all, this is pretty much going to conclude today's show, man. I'm going to see if Wasted can come back up. I would like to thank Wasted Talent for coming up. Make sure you guys go follow his YouTube page. Go subscribe over there and pay your tab. Y'all know what to do, man. And make sure y'all rate the like button over here because, look, we're going to keep it lit every morning, every Monday morning at 8:45. We pull up for a Good Morning Nation live. Y'all know what it is, man. I was at the game this weekend going stupid. You know what I mean? Out with my boy SVT. Shout out to Samoa Raider and Raider Cody for the hospitality as well. But look, we're going to take off on this one. Yes, barbecue chicken. Make sure y'all get y'all barbecue chicken, man. And you know what it is. Until next time, y'all rate the tape.